How to set up your kitchen like a pro. Week 1. In a restaurant, you always need an organized and efficient prep space, even if you're just scrambling eggs, because you're likely to be doing it at a much faster pace and higher volume, while also poaching, frying, and overeasing in a tiny space with someone yelling at you. In a professional setting, a good line cook always sets up stations specific to a task at hand, regardless of what's on the menu. When cooking at home, you don't need to set yourself up as rigorously as someone might in a restaurant kitchen, but there are still plenty of helpful tips to take from professional cooks. The details of every restaurant station are different depending on the job and the cook. If someone is working the grill station, they usually keep a brush and oiled rag close by to clean and grease the grates between orders, while on garde manger duty, that's the cold dish station, they may hoard all the mixing bowls for tossing salads. These are the 3 main points to consider for any efficient workspace. Keep it tight. The less you have to move, the faster you move, so keep all necessary tools at hand. Have a landing zone. Keep your cutting board clutter-free by moving prepped stuff out of the way and onto a tray or in a bowl. Clean as you go. Working over a trash bowl and frequently wiping down with a wet towel makes it easy to move between different tasks and keep cleanup quick. This is a general prep station. This is how you should be setting up your kitchen before you begin any of our tasks in this course. First, most importantly, you have to anchor your cutting board. Regardless of you whether using a wooden or a plastic cutting board, it's always a good idea to take a wet paper towel, wring it out, lay it down, and put your cutting board on top. This anchors the board to prevent it from slipping and causing an injury. We'll be using a chef knife or a paring knife. If you're doing a lot of vegetable work, you'll have your peeler at hand, and place those tools on a dry kitchen towel. This helps things from rolling around and moving unnecessarily. Also put out 2 trays or plates to have one tray for stuff that's ready to be prepped and stuff once it's prepped to keep things organized. Also keep a scrap container close by. As you're working with your vegetables, any scraps, peelings, or ends of carrots or onions can be put into the scrap container. These can later be used for compost or for stock making. Have a wet towel for cleaning close by, so in between tasks you can wipe down your board so you're always ready for the next thing. Before you begin any of our labs, make sure you have the proper station set up. Please take a photo of your setup and include it in your presentation for each assignment each week. Learning the correct procedures for proper cleaning and sanitation in a professional setting is crucial. ServSafe is a food and beverage safety training and certificate program administered by the U.S. National Restaurant Association. Sanitation certification is required by most restaurants as a basic credential for their management staff. Throughout this course, we will be referring to the standards set by ServSafe. The reason why we're going over this, even though you'll be working in your own home kitchen, is that you will not always be in your home kitchen. In the hospitality industry, you may find yourself in the kitchen, providing extra hands. So I want you guys to become familiar with some of the procedures that happen in a professional setting, so you can jump in and help whenever needed. So, as spelled out by ServSafe, this is the proper way in order to clean surfaces. All surfaces must be cleaned and rinsed. This includes walls, storage shelves, and garbage containers. However, any surface that touches food, such as knives, stock pots, cutting boards, or prep tables, must be cleaned and sanitized. Kitchens are required to have buckets for cleaning solution as well as sanitizer. Scrape or remove food bits from the surface. Use the correct cleaning tool such as a nylon brush or a pad or a cloth towel. Wash the surface. Prepare the cleaning solution with an approved detergent. Wash the surface with the correct cleaning tool, such as a cloth towel. Rinse the surface. Use clean water. Rinse the surface with the correct cleaning tool, such as a cloth towel. Sanitize the surface. Use the correct sanitizing solution. Prepare the concentration per manufacturer requirements. Use the correct tool, such as a cloth towel, to sanitize the surface. Make sure the entire surface has come in contact with the sanitizing solution. Allow the surface to air dry. This is important. A lot of times you may be tempted to take a dry towel and dry off the surface of the table. But that means if there's any contaminants on that towel, you're now wiping them on the freshly sanitized surface. Therefore, the surface is no longer sanitary. So make sure you allow things to air dry. In professional kitchens, most will use a 3-compartment sink. So I want you guys to be familiar with how these function. First, fill the first sink with detergent and water of at least 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Second, in the second sink, fill it with clean water. Then fill the third sink with water and sanitizer to the correct concentration. Provide a clock with a second hand to let food handlers know how long the items have been in the sanitizer. Washing dishes in a professional setting is a little bit different than the way you may do it at home. If you're lucky enough, all you have to do is load your dishwasher. First, scrape items before washing them. If necessary, items can be rinsed or soaked. Now, coming from the front of the house, this is one of the most beneficial things you can do to help the kitchen staff, by scraping plates. If you are clearing plates from the front of the house during service, coming back to the kitchen and scraping any remaining food particles into the trash is a huge help for anybody in the kitchen. Then, clean the items in the first sink. Wash them in the detergent solution of at least 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Replace the water when the suds are gone and the water is dirty. Rinse the items in the second sink. Spray with water or dip them into it. Remove all traces of food and detergent. If dipping items, change rinse water when dirty or full of suds. Sanitize items in the third sink. Check the time and temperature requirements for the sanitizer you are using and use a test kit to check the concentration. Change the solution when the temperature or sanitizer concentration falls below requirements. Air dry all items. Place items upside down so they will drain. Never use a towel to dry items. Again, if there's any contaminants on that dry towel, the items are no longer sanitary. So these are the procedures that happen in a professional kitchen. I hope that what you learned here today, you'll be able to implement them in your home kitchen.